Hello friends, welcome back to this online guide classes. I hope and pray that you all are doing safe under God's wings. In today's lesson, we are going to study the population change. Now, what is the meaning of the population change? The population change refers to change in the number of people during a specific period of time. Now, what is the specific period of time? I think in your textbook, there's a picture which is mentioned to you. Please read this picture, my dear friends. In the year 1800s, the population count was around 1 billion. After 150 years later, you will see that same population it has multiplied. That means the world population has not been stable. There's an increase in manifold. This is actually due to the changes in the number of births and number of deaths. How can we show that there's a population change? By the change in the number of births and change in the number of deaths. If there is a change in the number of births, or if there is an increase in the number of births, and if there is a decrease in the number of deaths, so we can strongly say that there is a change in population count. For an extremely long period of human history, until 1800s, the world's population grew steadily but slowly. If you study the history periods which are called as the ancient history, the medieval history, the modern history, if you see these particular eras, you will see that the population had grew, but it grew very slowly and very steadily. What was the reason for that? Because the large number of babies were born, but they died too early because of not having proper health facilities. Sufficient food and basic amenities were not available for the people, for all the people. During this particular around 1800s, you will see that there was sufficient food was not available. Basic amenities were not there. What are called as basic amenities? The basic amenities includes safe drinking water, sanitation, housing for all weather roads to villages, electrification, that is called electricity, fuel, connectivity, healthcare centers, schools. All these were not available during that period of time. So due to this reason, there was, as a result, total increase in population was very low. The total population or the increase of population was also very low. Why? Because the death rate was also increasing. One side population rate was increasing, but the birth rate was increasing, and at the same time the death rate was also increasing. Due to this reason, the population count was increasing or it was getting low. In 1820s, the world's population reached to 1 billion. After 150 years later, in 1970s, the world population reached to 3 billion. So this is called as population explosion. In 2010, what happened? In less than 45 years, the population doubled to 6 billion. So the main reasons for this growth is nothing but our better food facilities were there, or better food supplies were available to the people, availability of health facilities were there, and cheap goods and other industries were developed during this particular period of time. So the establishment of industries, the industrialization has created the economic growth. And not only this, it has given jobs for many people. And through this, many people have survived and many people had gained some income. And through that income, they took care of their families. These three are the main reasons for the growth of the population. Within 45 years, it has multiplied to 6 billion. The births are measured using the birth rate, that is the number of live births per 1,000 people. Out of 1,000 people, how many children were born? The same count is applicable for the death rate even. So how death rates are usually measured using the death rate? The death rates are measured out of 1,000 people again. Out of 1,000 people, how many were dead? How many people died out of 1,000 people? So these are all the works done by the census. The government of India takes care during the census counting time. The migration also plays a vital role in changing the population count. What is the meaning of migration, by the way? Migration is nothing but it is a movement of people in and out of an area, out of land. So the population increase in the world is mainly due to the rapid increase in the natural growth. What is that rapid increase in the natural growth? It is nothing but if there is an increase in the birth rate and if there is a decrease in the death rate, the population count is increasing. For example, if the birth rate is increasing and if the death rate is increasing, that means we can easily count that the population count is also increasing. But at the same time, if the birth rate is increasing and if the death rate is decreasing, we can say strongly that even during this time also, we can strongly say that the population count is increasing. So if both are decreasing, there are some countries are there where we are going to study, where in which the birth rate is decreasing, the death rate is also decreasing. During this count, what happens? The population growth is getting reduced or it is becoming slow. Now let us all understand what is the meaning of natural growth. I have explained about the natural growth. So these are the main points. Because of the birth rate and because of the death rate, because of an increase in the birth rate and because of the decrease in the death rate, the population it increases and it decreases. And the third point and the next point is due to migration. Migration also plays a major factor responsible for the population change of an area. Migration also plays a vital role in changing the population count. Are you all understanding, my dear friends? These are the main factors for the population count and population change and population growth. As you can see this particular picture here, what you can see here now from the beginning, if you see the patterns of population change, we call it as through census. It is measured through census. Now what you can understand through this picture, in 1800 the population count was 1 billion, and after that in the year 1927 the population count was 2 billion. Now in 1960 the population count was 3 billion, 1974 4 billions, 1987 5 billions, 1999 6 billion, 2011 7 billion, and 2020 8 billion. Now how can we measure this population period? By the help of this graph. Graph we can easily identify. So here you can see number of years, right? You can write down the years. I don't have pen tablet, I'm sorry for this. So 1800s the population count was somewhere around 1 billion, right? And after that you can count here 1 2 3 4 5 6 something like that. Okay, you can count here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, these are the population count and these are the years, my dear friends. So in this case what we can understand, so in 1800s what happened, the population count was 1 billion. Now in after 150 years, as we have studied earlier, what happens in after 150 years, the population count in the year 1927 the population count was almost 2 billion, and 1960 3 billion. So by this one what we can, the graph is increasing. You can see the graph is increasing. So there is an increase in the population or decrease in population? There is an increase in population, my dear friends. This is how we can study this particular population change. We have discussed the definition of migration, my dear friends. That is nothing but the movement of people in and out of the area. The people are moving from villages to towns or from towns to cities. We call it as internal migration. During this particular period of time, what happened? The population count will not increase or count will not decrease. But when it will increase and when it will decrease, when a person is moving from one country to the other country, right? For example, during international migration, if the person is moving from one country to the other country, from his own motherland, if he is moving and if he is going to the other country, to the other unknown country, and where if he is getting permanent over there and if he is getting settling over there, during this particular case, what happened? The population count will decrease over here in his native country, and in his other settled country, what happened? The population increase. Now there are two types of migrations are there. The first one is international migration and the second one is internal migration. Now first of all, let us all understand what is meaning of international migration and internal migration. In the definition is mentioned over here. Movement of people from one country to another country across the international borders is called international migration. Like countries like Australia, USA, Canada have gained population because of immigrants, the people who are arriving in these countries. But there are some countries like Sudan, India, Sri Lanka who are experiencing a loss in population due to the immigration. The population who have left their countries. The international migration is divided into two parts, my dear friends. The first one is immigration, E-M-M-I-G-R-A-T-I-O-N, immigration, and the second part is immigration, I-M-M-I-G-R-A-T-O-N. So I might be pronouncing a little bit different, but please try to understand these spellings. The first word here, it is starting with E, and here it is starting with I. So E means exit and I means in. So what happens over here? Immigration. What do you mean of immigration? A person is leaving his own country and leaving to the other country. There what is going? He is going there and is settling there. So during this particular case, what happens? He is leaving his own motherland and is going and settling in the other country. That means here the population is decreasing. Okay. And here the population count is increasing. Now who can go to the other countries? All the educated people, talented people, skilled people, they migrate to different parts of the countries in search of jobs, in search of good lifestyle, way of living, high standard of living. General trend of international migrants. So the general trend, what is the general trend of international migrants? It is nothing but they are leaving from less developed nations to the more developed nation. That means to say from developing countries they are living to the developed countries. Like India is a developing country, my dear friends. So from India they are living and going to the developed countries. So what was the reason for that? The reason is nothing but better employment and high standard of living, and they want to remove their poverty line. So due to this reason, people are migrating from developing countries to the developed countries. So during this case, his own native country will be in loss, and where in which the place where he is going, where he is going to go and settle there, that country will be in benefit. So that it is he's going to be a resource, is going to be a main resource for that particular country, and through him the country will be beneficial, and through him the country can grow. So this is what we all need to understand. Now let's move on to the next one, that is internal migration. Now what is the meaning of internal migration? Internal migration is nothing but the movement of people from one region to another region within the country is known as internal migration. If a person is moving from one state to the other state, this method is known as internal migration within the country. If the person is moving, it is known as internal migration. Now during this case, what happens? During this internal migration, it will not affect, or it will not impact any size in the population. There won't be having any increase, or there won't be having any decrease in size, my dear friends. So within the countries, large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas in search of employment, education and health facilities. From villages to towns they are moving, from towns to cities they are moving. Why? Because of in search of employment, in search of education, in search of health facilities. These are the main reasons for the movement of internal migration. So during this case, there won't be having any impact on the size population. The rate of population growth vary across the world. So if you see the entire world, some countries are fully populated, some countries are less populated. Population of the country are not equally distributed. Some countries are having low population, high population. Developed countries are having more resources, wherein which in the developing countries have more population. Take an example of India and China. India is a developing country, wherein which here the population is more, and at the same time the natural resources are less. So during this case, what happens? Here the people or the government cannot supply the natural resources to everyone. Population growth is high. When you see the other countries like developed countries, what happens? In developed countries, natural resources are more. The world total population is rising rapidly. It is increasing very fast. Not all the countries are experiencing the growth. Now, yes, we can understand that the population is increasing. If population growth is increasing, population count is increasing, but not all the countries are experiencing the same increase in the population count. What was the reason? There are some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. The population growth rate is very high, but what happened? They also have high birth rates and they also have high death rates. During this case, what happened? The growth rate is reducing. With improving healthcare, death rates have fallen. Yes, we can strongly say that the healthcare system has developed very much, and the death rates have fallen. But even birth rates still remain high, leading to high growth rates. Now, even one side the birth rate is increasing, one side death rate is also decreasing. So during this case, what happens? The population count increases. So in other countries like UK or United Kingdom, population growth rate is slowing. It is becoming slow. What was the reason? Because of lower death rate and low birth rate. During these cases, what happened? The population growth is it is becoming slow. What is the meaning of population composition? Population composition is nothing but study of population. In studying of social, economic and demographic structure of population, the level of economic development of any country, it will not depend on how thickly the country is populated or how much population is there in that country. It doesn't matter, but it matters how many people are working for that country, how much resources they are bringing to the country. It matters. For example, let me give you, if one side 20 members are there, in the other side 10 members are there. If 10 members are working hard and 20 members are there, but if they are not working hard, what makes sense? It doesn't make any sense. The 10 members who are there, they changes that particular complete area. The population composition, it makes us to understand the quality of a person, and it also speaks about the human resources. people may different according to their age, gender, sex, professions, education, degrees, income levels, occupations, and as well as health conditions. But it is very important that we all need to understand the characteristics of different persons. The structure of population of a place is usually referred to as population. The composition of population is vast fill-in comprising the ethnic characteristics, race, tribes, language, religion, literacy and education, age, sex, economically active population, and many more traits. The study of composition of population helps in understanding the social, economic, and demographic structure of the population, my dear friend. It helps us to know how many are males and how many are females, which age group they belong to, how much they are educated, and what type of occupation they are employed in, and what is their income levels. An interesting way of studying this population composition of any country is through population pyramid, and this population pyramid is also called as age-sex pyramid. So we can easily understand about the population count by studying the population pyramids. That is also called as age-sex pyramid. Let's study this population pyramid or age-sex pyramid. Here what you can see here a complete pyramid of population count. So what happens over here? Before we move further, let us all understand the population pyramid. Now towards your right side, what you can see, you are seeing the female count, and towards your left side you are seeing male count, and towards the other side you are seeing the age group of years, and down you are seeing the percent which is already calculated. This population pyramid shows the total population divided into various age groups. For example, 5 to 9 years or 10 to 14 years. The percentage of the total population is, again, it is divided into males and females. Can you see the difference over here? Let us all understand this percentage, my dear friends. So this population characteristics are actually divided into, or the population pyramid is divided into 3 categories, my dear friends. The first one is sex ratio, which is also called as male or female, age structure, and the third one is dependents or working population. Are you all understanding, my dear friends? The first one, what did I tell you? I told you about sex ratio. Now male and female, how can we count male and female? We have discussed already this one. Out of 1,000 people, out of 1,000 males, how many females are there? Number of females per 1,000 of men. Out of 1,000 men, how many females are there? So through this we can easily understand the population pyramid or population count. Now let us all understand. Now don't think that the female count is less most of the time. No. For example, according to 2011 census, there were the calculation says in this way: there were almost 940 females are there comparing to 1,000 males. This is the average count according to 2011 census. But what about there are some countries like Kerala, which is having almost 1,084 females are there out of 1,000 males. And if you see Puducherry, which is almost having 1,052 females out of 1,000 males. So it's not the matter of most of the females are less. No, in developed areas like Delhi, the population count is almost, the sex ratio is almost 866 females out of 1,000 males. This is how we can study the population pyramid. This is how we can study the population of sex ratio. In Haryana, 861 out of 1,000 males. In Punjab, 889 out of 1,000 males. In UP, 879 out of 1,000 males. What was the reason for the female decrease? So many reasons are there, my dear friends. The first reason is dowry. Due to this superstition, the female count is getting less, and at the same time due to this malnutrition. And the next one is due to this girl child problem issues. Some of the people, they don't want girl child. So these are some of the reasons for the decrease of female count. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the second topic, that is age structure. Now this age structure you can see in the pyramid over here. It is divided into 3 parts, my dear friends. The first one is 0 to 15 years, and from 16 to 64 years, the second one, and the third one is from 66 to above 80 or 90 or whatever till their death. So this is how the age structure is being divided. Now the first age structure, that is 0 to 15 years, we call it as children age group. Now what happens over here? All the children are supposed to get education compulsory. According to article 24, children below 15 years should not work in any factories, should not work as a labor. What is their work? Their work is to get unlimited education. There are some governments are there where they are giving free education to the children below 15 years age or till their PhD or till their studies. So this is a good initiative through the government, my dear friend. So these children are completely dependent on their parents, on the working source, on the human working source. Now what happens over, that is the second part, my dear friend. The second part is called as a middle age group. Now in this middle age group, the age is beginning from 16 years to 65 years. So what are these people? Who are these people? These people are known as working independents or productive people. Because of these people, the country's resources are multiplying. The country's natural growth is multiplying into necessary resources, my dear friend. These are the main reasons. These people are the main reasons for the growth of any country. If these are the people, skilled people, these are talented people, these are educated people, my dear friends. Resources or economy growth to the higher standards. These are the main people who develop the country, my dear friends. The third one is age group, that is from 66 years to above. Right, most of this age group, what happens? They depend on the working force or the working independence. The third age group is, that is aged 65 to above percentage. Now you can see over here 0 to 4 age years, you can count here almost 9%. And at the same time, the second one is 14 to 10 to 14. The next one, that is almost 7, right? The next one is from almost 10 to 15 years, almost 6%. So 9 plus 6 is so if you add this total, now this is how we can count. 9 plus 7 plus 6, how much? So it is almost, this is the male count. Now if you can also count towards the female count, how much it is. So this is how we can calculate. So if you see the average percentage of these people according to 2011 census, it is almost 34%. The children are above 34%. So I'm talking about India census according to 2011 census, my dear friends. What happens over here? You can also count males, right? How many males are there? How many females are there? You can see by looking at these diagrams. You can see that 16 to 34 years age, how much it is? It is almost 5, right? And the next one from 36 to 39 years, how much it is? So you can count like this, and you can use the ruler over here and you can count. This is just an example, my dear friends. So if you see according to 2011 census, the total working and the total working population in averagely, if you see, it is almost coming around 59%, right? So first one is children were about 34%, and the working force was around 59%. So children are below, the birth rate is increasing, it is 59%. Now let's move on to the next one, that is age group. So how can we calculate this age group? The age group is above 65 years above, right? What was the average years of an individual? It is almost here 85 years they are counting. What is an average years of an Indian? It is almost 67 years, my dear friends. 67 years is the total average years that a person can live. That is an average lifespan of an individual in India. So if you see the age group percentage, it is almost coming to 6.9% according to 2011 census. So if you add all the census, that is 6.9%, 59.1% and 34%, you will see almost 100%. So this is how we can calculate the population pyramid, right? So you can see in the beginning, you are seeing the growth of population. This increase of these bar lines are nothing but growth of children. The children are growing. As you move, as you keep on moving, what happens? The pyramid, it is increasing like a pyramid. That is nothing but the population is getting decreased. We can see that the population's the birth rate is increasing. The birth rate is increasing, but at the same time, the death rate is also increasing, my dear friends. So this increasing of the pyramid is also known as increasing of death. The increasing of pyramid is also known as increasing of death rates. The children, it should be continued, but it is decreasing. So it is because of the death rate. Some of the people are getting resources, some of the people are not getting resources. This is how we can understand the population pyramid. It reveals us number of children below 15 years and reflects the level of births. It also shows the number of age group above 60 years. It also shows how many dependents are there in the country. Children are dependent on the parents. Parents are going to take care of the children and their aged groups. Now, the population pyramid of the country in which births and death rates both are high in broad at the base and rapidly narrows towards the upstairs, narrows towards the top. So there is some. So here it says that it reveals us number of children below 15 years. By studying this population pyramid, we can understand that the children below 15 years, it reflects the birth level of births. It also shows the number of age group above 60 years, and this pyramid also shows how many are dependent in the country. This population pyramid also the population pyramid of a country in which births and death rates both are high in broad. You can see this, both are high in broad at the base, and rapidly it is narrowing towards the top. This is because although many children are born, but what happens, a large percentage of them are dying in the infancy. A few of them are becoming adults, and there are very few old people. You can see there are very few old people, and there are some dependents are there. So this is a situation typically in the population of this situation is typically in the population pyramid of. So the same whatever we have studied till now, this is the case which happens in Kenya. The population growth is there, the birth rates are increasing, but at the same time the death rates are also increasing. So during this time, what happens, as they keep on moving, or as the age groups, as the age increases, what happens, the death rates they are facing lot. So this is how we can study the population pyramid of any country. Let us all study the comparison of these three countries, my dear friend. The first one is population pyramid of Kenya, second one is population pyramid of India, and the third one is population pyramid of Japan. Now what can you understand by looking at these three pyramids, three countries pyramids? Now we can see that here in Kenya the population count, the birth rate is increased, the birth rate is high, and here the birth rate is normal, and here birth rate is quite low. And the second point is, come to the second age, that is middle age group. What happens over here, the middle age group are the dependents, are the working independents. What happens here, as the same birth rate what they had seen, they are not seeing the same continuation. They are seeing n number of death rates. Even here the population count is getting decreased, but whereas here, let's compare these three countries and let us study the population pyramid of these three countries. The first one, what you can see the population pyramid of Kenya. Second one, you can see the population pyramid of India, and third one is population pyramid of Japan. Now what you can see, can you identify any difference? Yes, there is lot of differences there, my dear friends. Now these three, the first one is children age group. You can see over here the birth rate is very high, here the birth rate is normal, and when it comes to Japan, the birth rate is quite low. And the second one is the working force, the dependents, right? There the as you see the birth rate is increasing, but at the same time there is a, so as you can see the increase in birth rate, but at the same time you can also see the increase in death rate. If a population pyramid belongs to the country depicts high birth rates and high death rates, the country's base is broad. As you move towards up, it starts narrowing. It is depicted in such a manner that even though the children are in huge numbers which are born, the population pyramid of Kenya is very wide at the bottom and very narrow at the top. This means the birth rate is very high and also the death rate is very high. The dependents are very high over here in Kenya. So that by this we can understand that it is a low income country. The narrow top indicates there are few elderly people are there. Can you see that narrow top? This means the life expectancy is getting shorter. This suggests that the death rates are high, which can be a result of poor healthcare systems and lack of sanitation. And what is the expectancy of this? What is the average life expectancy of this country? 75 years average. Let's move on to the next one, India. The population pyramid of India shows a wider base, but the middle portion of the pyramid is in the healthy shape, right? So the top is narrow. People are a little bit economically productive, and this means that it is a good sign for the economy of India. It is a good sign for economy of India. Why? Because it is India is a developing country, and further, if you understand, the number of dependents is not too much. The population pyramid of India is a middle income country. So the wide base indicates birth rates are still quite high, mainly due to the tradition of having large families in rural areas. We have a tradition Mostly in rural areas, what we have? We have big families, very high over here. Okay, the sloping sides above the age 30, you can see over here, indicates the death rates are also very high due to the lack of healthcare systems or healthcare available to the people. So the base of the population pyramid shows birth rates are falling, and at the same time the death rates are also falling. The base of the population pyramid shows birth rates are falling and that the death rates has stabilized at a low level. Hope you all have understood this population pyramid of India. Now let's move on to the next one, population pyramid of Japan. Now Japan is the population pyramid of Japan shows a wide middle and a narrow base and top. Right, you can see wider in the middle, and narrower also you find a little bit wider, and top also. This indicates towards a low birth rate and a low death rate. The dependent population is very less over here. Are you all understanding, my dear friends? So the dependent population is very less and have a good productive age group. Due to this reason, the country has developed into developed country. The country has developed into developed country, and it is not a good sign, my dear friends, for the future. In future, there would be more elderly people and less working people you will find in this category group. Here, people are living longer due to improvement in healthcare systems. Hope you all have understood the difference between these three countries. Thank you all so much. We'll meet again.